right now in this winter semis, and they're just trying to get cleared for liftoff here. They're going to play everything that they got right now. We're going to start on Clarion test chamber here. We got the team showing up. Twin Drive, Heavy Impact, no Asher, no Juno. Don't even think about it. Don't even think about it. Pyruni on Rune. I mean, is this guy not a Rune main? I think so. I think so, Saya.
Yeah, that's why they call him Pyruni, you know? Okay, my
Guys,
bad. My
that's
bad.
why they call him Pyruni. Saya, thank you. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction here. We got everyone with Heavy Impact except for Mexa Casual, who is on Atlas. Of course, that makes 100% sense. Vicious Vambrace might be something to take a look at here in this game. Pyruni, Rune player, taking Vambrace. Now, that seems a little strange for me. You know, I'm not really Meta Master right now, but that could be the one difference maker in this game, positive or negative. But we're going to have one barrier go down here for the side of Runic. Team Runic right here. They're going to lose a barrier over to Pyruni. Mexican Casual looking a little bit weak here, though, but probably not going to end up going down, as Atlas is going to have ult in probably just a couple of minutes here, though. Nice anomaly to grab the first barrier. Dave trying as hard as they can to get the ball away from here. Actually hits level 2, spends that volley on in here, trying to get the strike shot. Now Yin Kirby against Dave, and Dave is actually going to end up winning out with that piercing shot. Mexican Casual doesn't get to use the secondary. Just Logan was a little bit too close, almost wins that situation, but the help of Yin Kirby, though, and the Whiplash is going to keep that one alive. Ends up spending the strike, though, and losing that war in just a quick situation. Dave could possibly move up, get this flip on in here. Yin Kirby looking a little bit weak, but we have Atlas ult to keep them alive as well, and another nice reinforcement here from Dave. They're going to keep it out of this barrier's reach here. Flip coming out from just Logan, sends the passive as well with that strike, and they're not going to end up landing this one just yet as this point continues. Possible flick situation, and yes, Logan gets it onto the bottom side. Nice work there. You know, Mexican Casual kind of close to that flip, but not enough action there. Close one, first point, stab.
Yeah, the little brother of the flick, the core stop with the primary.
Yeah.
Just Logan delays it a little bit, and it's just enough time to mix up Mexa Casual on that strike shot, who pulls the trigger slightly too early. And just Logan looking very comfortable on his Zentaro here, getting a lot of second hits, getting a lot of follow-ups onto the barriers, and now the net's already open. Atlas not going to have a good time.
Absolutely, spent the primary to keep that one alive here too. Jay approaching with that flip. Something I noticed the last time that I was watching Jay, which obviously was a couple sets earlier, was they really hold flip. They really extra hold flip, and I think there's a lot of situations where it's totally fine, but some that I feel like, you know, you could do the thing where it's like flip, get a pretty good situation with it, and then you build up energy for the next one instead of like possibly really outwaiting for like the best situation that you try to make happen. It's really kind of like a player thing, but whoa, nice Casual. I cannot get that primary there in time. He's not going to project fast enough. Logan shoots it right on through, but yeah, I was just thinking of that when I and see Jay has flip. We're going to see how long they possibly hold it, and maybe just spends a little bit too much time holding it.
It would be the ultimate caster moment if she scores the goal with it, but we will see what happens. Yeah, I do also notice that Jay is a flip holder, not a flip user, but right there cashes it out. A little bit of a waste, unfortunately, but you know, can't win them all.
You can't win them all, and that's just the situations that occur in Omega Strikers, bro. Flip will be back. Couple minutes, no problem. You just get your face in there and start hitting some stuff, as we have Logan already hitting a lot of stuff. Flip, oh, actually flips a little bit early, but either way, totally fine. Grabs both barriers here, and we get a flip from Pyrene just to keep themselves alive. Get knocked against the wall, but this ain't going to be Taiko Temple. You actually do live getting knocked against these, although if you get knocked with high velocity, even with full health, you could die. Really strange maps sometimes, but yeah, full barriers gone here for the side of Rune, and they're going to get that one. Nice, Dean Kirby gonna make it happen here. Pyrene disabling both of the opponents. Great strike shot from Dave to keep them alive. Dean Kirby has another situation to come in here, but the lifeline return is going to be Dave's. Great defense here, though. Oh, actually, the overtime strike there from Logan kind of messed up the slice and dice combo there, so that was kind of interesting as overtime going to go ahead and cross over as they're working on a flip here for Mex Casual. Maybe it'll make a difference now.
In Kirby's been a little scary on the offense here, but the core drifts a little bit too fast. Just Logan gets the bounce he wants to see, and that will be the set win for Stab very, very quickly.
Yeah, that definitely was a little quick. Irony did get staggered there. I wasn't watching close enough to see if Vambrace was like the savior of the world right there, but I kind of try to focus on seeing if Vambrace does anything this game. It's kind of an interesting pick. Yeah, Zentaro first pick here, perfect form on the board. Man, you don't really get too much better reward than that, although you did have to pick between Super Surge and perfect form. Super Surge totally gone now for the Zentaro pool, but still looking really strong right here. Just Logan is kind of locked in, and with these 2 awakenings is going to be even more of a devil than a couple seconds ago. And interesting pick, Spark of Resilience here from Pyruni, who already has the Vicious Vambrace. I'm trying to connect the dots right now, but I seem to be lacking a pencil.
Yeah, it's a little scary now, but I do think that pickup of the Spark Resilience is going to be good. Once again, Zentaro getting perfect form. I think every Zentaro on stream has gotten perfect form this game, today.
Yeah, I mean, really, Zentaro stocks are up. Zentaro could be maybe a good character, as I'll stop there. But honestly, picked nicely, getting some good awakenings, can really scale off a lot of things. And we see Yin Kirby looking really low right there, and a confirm from the Oni Blade. Just Logan, again, just locked into the barriers, locked into the damage. Banish on the core, banish on Jay, but not too much more than that. Mexican Casual almost keeps that one alive, but Dave putting on just enough pressure for Logan to approach nicely and land that barrier as well. Flipped coming out from Logan, and that's a big old open barrier there. Mexican Casual can't seem to get there with the strike shot, really close, but Logan is just on one right now. Level 5, easiest, highest level on the board right now. Dave close one halfway there, but I mean, Logan has just been MVP right now.
Yeah, well, Logan has had so much coverage, just reading the plays very, very well. But Yin Kirby, 2 barriers for the price of 1, but you don't want that second one there as 1 barrier falls on each side. Similar to the previous Atlas that we saw, right? In that Furt game. Mexi is pushing up, but I think Mexi's pushing up a little bit too recklessly. While previously it was well-timed, well-executed, I think Mexi's losing a lot of barriers and goals to that. They do get a KO, and the power play will help out, but Yin Kirby is still low.
Yeah, looking low, but they have a lot less kill pressure here with one of, actually, really most of their damage off the board, but almost got kind of schmixed there by the Now drone and the barrier, but going to, I guess, like the wall barrier, but, keep themselves alive here, though. Flip gets kind of stuffed there as well. Next to Casual, going to keep this one alive on the bottom side. Pyruni has a chance to make this one happen here with that anomaly, going to block the bottom side, but really tough double defense here. Banishes the core, not going to get too much off of it there. Now down to Mexican Casual into the Yin Kirby's hands. Oh, almost makes it happen with the whiplash, and yeah, the nice anomaly to keep that one in. Again, was just enough pressure where Dave could not keep that many strikes in the bag, and they're going to take that point here and see if they can bring this whole set back, even this one up, because they're going to need it.
They will. Trying to make the comeback here. Pyruni's been all over the map. These pillars have been amazing there, setting up a barrier, take almost 2 if Jay didn't have the reactions. And Yin Kirby with the strike resets is going in. Looking like an X out here, but on the Rasmus, and now in position for another goal. Good blink down by Dave, but the pressure coming out from Yin Kirby has been very, very impressive.
Yeah, super good positioning there. That with the whiplash, such a good ability. It gets a kill that looked like a banish kill into Anomaly from Pyruni, which is going to be great to get kills on these side lanes. Really dangerous to stand in the Xenocloak thing there, but Dave can't get the angle on the volley, and it's going to go kind of right on in there. Pyruni get nice credit for helping it on through. Okay, I mean, this is what they're looking for here to bring this one back and try to make it so they can maybe deny some of these awakenings from this Zentaro, who really can only go up from here.
Yeah, it really can only go up from here. Yin Kirby with a flip available. 2 barriers already taken. Pyruni on the follow-ups, perhaps a good flip out, but just Logan. Mexi Casual, a bit of a panic strike, a bit of an own barrier, and a bit of an opportunity here for the Star Breakers, but Pyruni is continuing to put on the pressure. Yin Kirby pushing forward, and they got to watch out for these anomalies. Yin Kirby into 50-50. Dave manages to defend. Yin Kirby's almost down.
Yeah, almost down, but not completely out. Nice. That was max range strike there from Mexican Casual to keep that one alive, and the Atlas ult is also going to keep Yin Kirby alive as the pillar comes in, but no one to really help it on through there. Yin Kirby not in the perfect position for that one, but it does still hold a pressure there as the, the rune thing is now on over there. The Shadow can help with another offensive play situation. They're going to try to get it past Logan one more time. The Whiplash does help it get it past exactly. Pyruni going in, but can't make it in time. Dave does have a couple extra cooldowns to keep that one alive, though. Yin Kirby kind of looking low, see if they can snag a kill, but now they might end up spending a couple abilities on Yin Kirby. Oh, Mexican Casual almost at the perfect angle with that expanse to get that through. but not perfect just yet. Ball onto the bottom side, trying to get into the hands of Yin Kirby one more time, who is just absorbing abilities at this time, and a nice timed Atlas ult is going to keep them alive, unstagger them as well, and they are not out. Certainly not out yet, as Whiplash is going to come in the Death Touch combo. I mean, that was perfect. Yin Kirby, you couldn't have played that one better. That is like basically the only way you score there, and well-deserved MVP for Runic Dreamers.
Yeah, well deserved here. Stagger Swagger gonna be the pickup, and that is so important. You mentioned Yin Kirby absorbing so many abilities, and we'll be able to regen right back up, and that is really scary because taking out the Brawler is no longer a win condition. There was already an Atlas, and now with the Stagger Swagger, it is an unkillable Rasmus.
Yeah, Stagger Swagger is going to be really great. That puts pressure on the opposing team to just combo when he is now going to be shattered. Because if they don't, I mean, yeah, like you said, real easy healing, lots of extra speed. Could cause problems, really, when you're staggered. 15% more speed, I mean, that's kind of a lot. And we'll see if Rune can also scale with some of these sparks. Gets a second one there, which is pretty great. Logan looking a little bit low right here. Yin Kirby gets the Death Touch, grabs one barrier. It's all you can hope for in that situation. Rune can't get their hands on the ball there, though. Really strong offense from Logan and Jay in that moment, but we do have a good defense from Mexicasual to keep that one alive, clearing up into the goo here, though. We actually saw a little bit on stream earlier. Actually, earlier this week, Vaughn was talking a little bit about this stage and how you kind of want to play it and which barriers you'd like to take. You really want to take the barrier that is farther from the goo first, because then the opponents have to stand in the goo longer if they want to build an offense there. So we'll see if that comes into play as much as maybe that'll show up. Nice banish combo there from Rune. Is going to take that one. Death Touch as well. Yin Kirby staggered fast. I mean, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Was staggered, now is good, and was fast. So that's even more deadly situation when they're shattered.
Very, very dangerous here. Just Logan taking a lot of damage from the goo, but running forward so quickly, and it kind of looks like the Starbreakers still have a chance in this one, still have a lot of energy in this one, as Just Logan leaps forward once again. Dave keeps the core forward, but Yin Kirby, so much speed, such a threat, forces out the flip, but Just Logan fast as well. Mexi barely catches that one, but a double banish now, a 1v3 for a moment as the core drifts to the bottom end, but it's saved barely by Dave and Just Logan as Jay barely regens back.
Great defense there by Dave for sure, keeping that one alive, and like exactly what you said, basically a 1v3 for that one. Mexico's going to approach with that flip and try to just win the situation for sure, but it's actually going to be an extra reinforcement there from Dave to keep it forward. Just Logan can't get their hands on the ball with this flip just yet. 50-50 here from Yin Kirby and Dave, and they win it out on the bottom side. Dave does have a little extra size, but open goal is open goal, and that is really tough to defend. So good decision there from Yin Kirby to sink that one.
Yeah, it really good play, good score there, and now it's really just the Starbreakers in a tough spot. They need to figure out how to just work around this Rasmus that is large, that is fast, that is not really killable, and they need to really just shift into a core control department, which they are doing right now, but hits on Just Logan prevents the flip from coming out, but still a flip to the top side, and they will find the goal. They can still core control.
They can. Logan has landed basically every flip goal in front of Mexicasual, basically around the expanse. That they only let it work every time. So Logan on point with dealing with the expanse right now, though. So we're going to push the ball onto the bottom side. Mexicasual spends a couple of abilities, could possibly lose 2 barriers, but Rune is there to defend. We love when our midfielders are helping us out here, though. Big banish on both of the teammates. It's just going to result in a whole lot of extra damage. Tries to go for the Death Touch kill, but it's actually going to be Jay winning out against Rune, getting the kill with the primary drone. Kind of possibly out of position here, though. Is going to keep it up. Actually, kind of a mix-up there. I really do like that. Almost results in a barrier gain. It actually results in a flip, but awkward clear there for Mexicasual was going to result in the final barrier falling in. Kirby looking a little bit weak, needs just a second or two to heal up here with this Stagger Swagger, and they do get that moment to keep themselves alive, as Rune is going to be basically 2v1 on the top side. Can't seem to make it happen, though. Another heal coming out from Jay is going to keep Just Logan alive, as Mexicasual going to try to help push it onto the top side. Has this flip, could maybe make it happen. Both barriers still up for Starbreakers, though, and it's looking a little bit rough for Dreamers at this moment.
Yeah, it really is. And, wow, well, we'll see what happens. Yin Kirby is almost dead, despite the Stagger Swagger, Atlas revive, everything. Now finally healed back up, but with the barrier still standing for the side of the Starbreakers, they have a lot of room to play with. Jay on the top side sets up But a really good flip from Mexicasual gets out of danger. Still a flip available for Jay, though, which means a lot of offensive pressure continues for the side of the Star Breakers.
Yeah, infinite offensive pressure. Great strike shot. That is a big read. You cannot react to that. So Mexicasual, really good read on that side. Okay, Pyruni a little bit out of position here, though. Loses the ball to Jay, who has a perfect straight-on pass to Logan, and he gets it on in there, though. Jay gets credit for that one. Of course, probably hitting it before that Logan even had a chance to, though. Mexicasual did end up taking Among Titans. Smaller strike range, though, but a little bit more speed could possibly result in situations where you do not really get to strike the ball. And we'll see if that comes up a little bit more often. The Expanse certainly does not get any smaller either way, as they have that one to keep themselves alive. Ian Kirby trying to get the ball away here from Dave. Does get a situation to grab it. Yeah, the bounce house is going to help him out getting that one here. Now they have a lot of access to this barrier, but a flip is going to be exactly what they need. A banish, almost exactly what they need, but less time spent banished when you are in the goalie arc, that is for sure. One barrier down for each player, or each team right now. Jay trying to approach with this flip. Maybe they'll use it. Didn't even need it, actually. With a great couple of strikes, good angles, is going to get it right on past Mexicasual. Yin Kirby could use their flip instead on this offensive push, and they are going to lose control of the ball because of this map, which is just fun and exciting, but they do end up getting it, flipping right on front. They're going to strike it on in there nicely. Okay, ends up that triple defense, which was coming together right at the end, could not stop the Yin Kirby pressure.
Yeah, it is looking like Yin Kirby is the main character, has the build to do it, has the build to perform, but again, like, it is really up to the scoring capabilities of just Logan and Jay as well. If they can find the offensive pressure, if they can find the open net on the other end before Yin Kirby can go. If Pyruni's the target instead, that's also gonna be what works too here for the Star Breakers. They seem to crack this Atlas.
Yeah, that was a pretty high value kill. Pyruni is nearly immortal when it comes to dealing damage, but knocking them off the map, they're going to be just as vulnerable as anybody else. Mexicasual losing another barrier there. I mean, the size seems to have come into play multiple times, even for the first barrier in this point. I think that they are just not as fast or as big as they think. Almost the perfect angle, but maybe an angle did not exist at that exact moment for Jay due to the expanse from Mexicasual. Is going to result in actually a little bit of pressure on to their own team here, though. Stab is working on trying to get this barrier out here. The Maelstrom Orb is going to block a couple of abilities. Dave on up to Jay right now. Gets it on through to Pyruni, but Mexicasual going to have a rough time with this angle, and the Oni's blade blasts it right on off the wall and right into just the bottom side of that barrier. And it's going to be another set for Starbreakers right now. They're looking good. They're looking good. We got Estelle as our MVP. Actually, last place, and Taro is one of the better situations you could come up with if you are Runic Dreamers.
Yeah, it is definitely one of the better spots to be in, but I guess it's not that great either, right? There's not that many good Zentaro Awakenings in this draft as well, but in another way, it is very good, taking the Monumentalist away from the Now and onto the Atlas, getting that additional coverage, and still getting a Siege Machine on the Rune. I think you'll take that if you're a Runic Dreamers. Overall, a pretty chill draft.
Yeah, I think that actually went pretty solid. We did actually see them outclass the opponents all in experience, as they had two players in a row there for that draft. So still one of the better situations to be in after losing that set. But nonetheless, we're going to start on this one. Yin Kirby already looking kind of low, but we do have Stagger Swagger to keep themselves alive if they can just find a situation to get some freedom. And they do not, as Dave is going to get that piercing shot and end up slaying Yin Kirby here. Pyruni going to hold the ball, stall as long as they can nicely there. Just trying to send the ball basically into nowhere. Nice clear here from Mexicasual as well. Going to ride the wall. No one's going to be that close to the wall to hand that one. It's going to be a good evade from Pyruni. Going to avoid the huge pressure there from Logan. Okay, it's going to end up being a flip from Mexicasual from that clear, but no problem. The barrier stays alive, and that's really all that matters. Damage coming out from Pyruni, and wow, that actually had enough knockback to destroy Jay, and that has actually impressed me, as Mexicasual was going to hold this one and actually going to end up losing the situation to just Logan, as the power play does end up ending. So one barrier down right now. Open goal for Jesus, Runic barriers, and unfortunately Mexicasual was in the middle of casting their primary, could not strike as the ball is going to slide on through.
Yeah, that is a little unfortunate. Caught being a little bit too offensive once again, but Yin Kirby on the offense immediately, taking a lot of damage. Mexi Casual, what was that? Oh no, Yin Kirby though, here to save the day, finds the barrier, and still a winning point, looking like a winning point for the Runic Dreamers, but they still have the goal to score.
They do. They do have a lot of situations to keep themselves in the game. It is definitely, at this point, no secret that Mexa Casual is pushing up a little bit too far with a lack of resources and speed. I think, you know, your Atlas, you are doing a great job of defending. I think you should hold the barrier just a little bit longer. He's putting a lot of trust in his teammates, though, and that's fair. But sometimes the ball is just kind of rolling past. You're a little bit small right here, so we'll see what happens. Maybe we adjust a little bit of strategies here. They're losing a lot of extra barriers when they don't need to, but again, kind of rolls on through as they're trying to place more offensive pressure on the opposing team. I get it, you know, you can't lose if you win, but you also can't win if you lose. And I hate to say it like that, but either way, we're going to have a nice pillar to keep the pressure forward. Pyruni looking a little bit weak as well, has a lot of extra health to work with if they can grab one of these orbs. But Jay has a flip onto the top side. Mexa Casual is going to try to defend this one as Logan is going to secure that power play for sure. The ball is kind of bouncing all around here, though. They're going to try to stall as long as they can into the hands of Dave's Mr. Strike Shot. Helps stall another extra second. Hands of Mexa Casual now with that expanse. Can they keep themselves alive as just Logan's going to go for a super combo, but doesn't seem to land it. Pyruni also going to help it through the flip from Jay. It's not going to work out either. Man, this is a tough point.
It really is. The offense from Star Breakers, double banish now. So much damage onto Jay, who is on death's door. Amazing save by Dave. Somehow beats Yin Kirby, but Yin Kirby still has flip. Stuffed out by just Logan, and Jay finally goes down. Yin Kirby with an opportunity here, but Dave still making the saves. The pillar going to be a little difficult, but just Logan has the second strike with the primary, and finally another pillar will finish the job here. What a ridiculous point.
Oh my god. Okay, here we go. We're playing strikers now. They finally got a nice combo with that barrier to secure that point, which lasted a little bit long, but all good. Yeah, starting off this next point nicely with a barrier for the side of Runic Dreamers. Yin Kirby going to try to make it happen with that primary, but a couple extra strikes is going to help them keep that one alive. Big expanse on the bottom side. It's going to hold the ball for just a couple of moments. No one has a situation to really get the ball on through, but it's going to be a nice hit from the middle. I think Jay is the one that walked into it. I'm not entirely sure, but either way, it's going to result in basically two barriers from that single play as Dave is going to keep the ball forward. Just Logan waiting for their opportunity to get this flip. Yeah, and they use it to get a kill. They do have Adrenaline Rush, which is like a lot of extra value as well, as their cooldowns are going to be up right now, and it's going to go right past that expanse. It is big, it's monumental, but it is not gargantuan, so it's going right on through Just Logan. Great angle to make it match point now.
Yeah, it is indeed a match point. Looking for the qualification, and that one barrier will put them on track to do it. Just Logan keeping the possession. Dave looking massive, putting on the damage. Pyruni a little bit low as well. And there's so much pressure being put on to Jay here, trying to find the KO, trying to find the power play to make the comeback, our Runic Dreamers. But these barriers, they're going to be so difficult to take. They take one, and Yin Kirby's KO'd.
Yeah, they do end up getting a combo through that Stagger Swagger. You know, it does not activate until you are literally in your regeneration mode. So it does kind of nothing until you get the chance to regen. But we're going to have a double banish here, which is kind of perfect. You really do want to banish the ball when you are in a 2v3 to try your best to stall as much as you can. Yin Kirby tries to get a combo there with the Death Touch, but it's a little bit too slow. Logan now looking really weak, completely shattered, has the flip, is approaching as fast as physically possible, but doesn't get their hands on the ball. It's great defense from the side of Runic Dreamers right now. Yin Kirby does avoid a couple of abilities. The Atlas ult is going to keep them alive as well. They're trying to deal some damage over here to Logan. A banish. It's going to be the pillar. Is going to be good. Jay cannot get there in time to eat that one up. And Jokes Logan is going to be knocked on off the map. Jay looking a little bit weak as well, but Yin Kirby's trying to solo play this one, but can't seem to make it happen. The pillar trying to keep this one in. Pyroni is really preoccupied with hitting the center orb, and it's going to cost them pretty much this whole power play, but we'll see if they can get something out of it here. Rune, I would say not one of the better characters with the orb in general, having pretty much no melee abilities at all, as the Death Touch is going to come out, steal it from Dave perfectly, now in the hands of Mexa Casual, and they might be able to land this point, although the flip does get stuffed. Mexa Casual doing a self-dribble here to get onto the bottom side, trying to get it past Jay, into the hands of Yin Kirby, but blocked by Dave nicely, and the point's going to continue here with a flip onto Mexa Casual.
Just Logan now in position, but another expanse comes out. Flip available for Jay, but Pyruni's in position to center, being the contested aspect of this game so far. Yin Kirby finds the repeat shot, and Dave tries to defend the top side. Well played, but These points are just so incredibly close here.
It feels like a real stressful situation when Runic Dreamers has the chance to get the point. They are trying as hard as they can to keep themselves alive, and it is currently working right now, although the Death Touch just gets stuffed there by Dave just a little bit, but wins that barrier, gets the primary combination, is also going to land that one, in addition to giving them a power play, which is going to be a kill from Pyruni. And Kirby can just get their hands on the ball one more time. Casual might want to flip to just get as much pressure as possible, and this set, they do, but the angle is not super good, not good enough to give it to Pyruni, although we do have Yin Kirby who does get their hands on the ball for just a moment. Actually gonna get stuffed by the only blade there. Casual does get kind of bailed out in that situation as Pyruni's gonna come back to help. Yin Kirby 2v1ing here, can't seem to win that situation. The ball's going a little bit fast onto the bouncy house. Just Logan really close to landing that one. A nice banish is going to relieve a lot of pressure for the side of Runic Dreamers. A strike shot back over to Yin Kirby. Pyruni has a situation to get that shadow teleport on in there. Yin Kirby does get the ball for one more time, gets the primary. Good angle, doesn't get knocked off the bottom side of that wall, and there you go. Set 5. Big game here. I mean, again, qualifiers. These teams are trying as hard as they can. Atlas is their MVP. Interesting situation. Not really that terrible, though. Although maybe Pyruni wanted to grab actually no sparks here. But we'll see what Atlas can do. I guess it's going to be a deny, which feels a little bad, honestly.
Yeah, it does. But stacks on stacks. For the Zentaro, I think feels a little bit good here. Just Logan's had a pretty solid time surviving. All things considered, despite being the low health Zentaro, and that additional speed is going to give so many more options in terms of mobility, so many more opportunities to make the play. We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, a lot of good awakenings showing up here. Atlas, unfortunately, Casual gets, doing the best that they can. Whoa, that's an insane amount of knockback. Gets a crazy good banish combination with some of those anomalies, and Logan fly right off the map, but again, a little too offensive here. Casual loses it to simply just Jay's secondary. Has Timeless to make it a little bit bigger, but not really so significant that I would say that is certainly what's going to happen. But Dave gets a nice strike shot to defend the barrier just for a moment, as it does end up going down either way in the hands of Yin Kirby. They can't seem to get it. Piercing shot past Casual once again. Tough deal with the Oni blade. Logan has a lot of situations. Oh my gosh, the speed from Jay gives Logan so much pressure there. Gets the kill, gets the adrenaline rush. The slice and dices up again. Stabs everyone in the face all at the same time, including gets the point. Has flip. Ooh, Logan made it happen there. Jay, though, being kind of the enabler, giving the speed on over to Logan with that secondary is going to be a difficult combination to deal with if you are Runic Dreamers.
Yeah, and it all started when Casual is just letting the core slip by a little too much, right? Again, we saw a good offensive Atlas play in the previous game, but this game, it seems like Mexi just not minding the offensive potential, the snipes of the Estelle and the Now and the Zentaro here. And now with just Logan in the pocket, forcing out so many cooldowns, I think the Star Breakers are in position to make another play here, but so much damage. Jay's dead.
Boom, huge kill, banish, anomaly from Pyruni again, and now we're gonna get another offensive push here from Casual, but it is a 2v3, so I'm gonna say it's a little bit more safe, as they're gonna try to get a play off the middle, but don't seem to happen just yet, as Dave holds the line. Actually had a lot of damage being dealt to Yin Kirby as well, but gonna swagger themselves right up to cleanliness, as Dave is gonna try to defend this barrier one more time. Piercing shot in, goes for the death touch combo, but doesn't seem to make it work. We're kind of just being kept at bay the whole time that we are trying to get this barrier. Yin Kirby is the one that's losing all of the health from just Logan, who is defending and dealing damage at the same time. We'll see if we can survive this power play here if you're Runic Dreamers, but it's going to be the Now primary. It's going to cause a couple of extra problems here, but the flip save from Casual is going to be good enough. But oh my god, Now's drone sits there and takes that one while Casual trying to clear the ball. It goes right on past. That is, that's the pinnacle of Now play. That's all you could ever hope for if you're Now, where the primary is sitting there and it just goes in and you're good. And now, again, we have match point for Stab. Can Runic Dreamers keep themselves alive?
Yeah, it has been a little bit overwhelming in the favor of Stab in this set. They have really locked in. Just Logan has utilized the speed so well. Jay, like you said earlier, has enabled Just Logan so well. And Logan's going for the flick. Logan going for the passive, going for the dash, finding everything and finding the flip. Star Breakers, what a well-deserved liftoff qualification.
Oh man, they're in. Liftoff, Just Logan. Wow, really getting on in there, man. It just had enough cooldowns, a lot of speed. Right when the stacks comes up, they are flying. Right when the secondary from Now comes up, it becomes overwhelming if you're the goalie, no matter what cooldowns you have. There's going to be great team play coming out from Stab. I mean, Dave also really doing a good job of keeping the ball forward and defending. Just Estelle is so good at keeping the ball forward, and she's not super good at defending, but I'm going to give it to Dave there. Defended a lot of situations where I thought that Estelle might be the one going down against something like Pyrunic and Yin Kirby on the offense. It's going to be such a good team play from Stab there. I mean, look at all the KOs. Look at all the KOs from this game, right? Pyruni, 6 KOs on RUNE. I mean, they did end up getting 2 Spark of Strength, and the Siege Machine, so that's actually a pretty solid amount of damage for RUNE, and they made it work as best as they could to finish off some kills, but it's not going to be enough for this game. Yeah, I think the real big takeaway there, Mex Casual pushing up just a little bit too far. Maybe when Strike Shot is down, it's just the situation where you want to maybe stay back or something, because you need to defend these barriers. And man, there's nothing more valuable than your final barrier on these maps. But really good gameplay coming out from both of these teams. A well-deserved victory there, and we'll see how many chances are left in this to make it, you know?
Yeah, and I think a lot of it was also a bit of the composition too, right? Because Rune is not a speed midfielder, so it's a little bit harder to really back up your goal window situations. You have to burn a cooldown most of the time. So I think that that kind of offensive playstyle might have worked in a different composition, but this was not the game, and the Star Breakers, they took advantage of it so well. But we got another qualification series coming right up. It's 777 Jackpot versus Wee's Little Furrets. Don't go anywhere. This is a crazy qualification match coming up next. We'll be right back.